All I wanted was to fix my life. Now I have the power to fix history. Raiden warns me, I can't fix everything. Change too much and I could lose Vera, lose Jackie. But this power is bigger than us. If I think only about helping myself, what kind of officer am I? What kind of man? I've been lucky. My family and I have lived the American dream. But most people who look like me haven't had that chance. I owe it to them to put things right. And I'm not waiting centuries for people to get woke when I've got the power to speed things up. I don't get it right the first time, or the second, or even the third, but eventually, I knock it out of the damn park. My family's back. The world's a better place for everyone. Turns out, you can have everything. Anyone who says you can't needs to dream bigger.
Hello YouTube, it's the PlayStation Inquisition and fucking NetherRealms. Mortal Kombat 11 now has one of the cringiest endings I've ever seen. Jack apparently decides to go back in time and change the world because it wasn't woke enough to accept, or to accept I don't know what, something that black people did to themselves way back when. But anyway, it's funny. So Jack decides to go back in time and change the world for acceptance, which is kind of odd because at the end of the video, at the last scene they show you, which looks to be like a suburban western city, doesn't have a single white person in it. Care to explain that? I mean, what happened to all the white people? Why not have a nice scene where everyone was like coexisting together happily, like on a beach, like no one judging? I mean, why not have a scene like that? I have a scene that looks like some kind of Middle Eastern bazaar in the middle of Dubai. I mean, why not just have a Middle Eastern bazaar in Dubai rather than doing it in a Western city? I mean, I don't get it. So basically, this is oh my goodness, this is NetherRealm's attempt at getting woke. It's terrible.
Okay, as promised, doing another video about the Mortal Kombat release date, street date break footage. So technically it's not leaked footage, it's not early footage. Some people in the UK just got the game earlier than everybody else. The fault was not there, so I am not calling it a leak. But I'm talking about the Jax ending, which is textbook what we used to call problematic. It's not a problem per se in that it doesn't do anything overtly wrong. It's a work of fiction, right? But there are things in it that I can see being issues for a lot of people. In the ending, again, spoilers, Jax goes back and changes history, even though Raiden warns him that if he changes too much, he could lose his wife and daughter. But somehow Jax manages to go back and change history to mean slavery never happened. That's the implication. And yet he still has his wife and daughter back. Happy ending in an Afrocentric utopia where it seems to be a bunch of black people in a Wakandan type setting. And I think there might be one non-black person there. So basically Jax has created apparently a black ethno state. I shouldn't need to say what's wrong with that. I think it's first and foremost, as a longtime fan of Mortal Kombat, I think that's not Jax. Jax has always been a soldier, an officer. He has served. He has never been racist that way. He has never been we're going to keep to our own kind type. He's been an overprotective daddy, but he's never seemed bitter in that way. And here's the thing about just getting on the time travel thing, okay? You can't go back and make it so that slavery never happened and then keep the people who were the result of slavery happening. We all agree slavery is terrible. I think a lot of people wish that it never happened, but slaves were not immigrants to America. They were forcibly moved to America, and their descendants, their children and their children's children are native-born Americans. They are not visitors. They are not guests. They are Americans who partake in American culture, and so much of American culture was created by black people that to go back and make this Afrocentric paradise, I know this is awkward, a white chick talking about this, but I know quite a few black Americans who feel very strongly that they don't want to dress in African costume. They are not African. They are American, damn it. And so they'll do the saggy jeans and the b-boy gear, and they'll buy stuff from Diddy and Jay-Z and Kanye. But that's their culture. They see the African experience as a foreign culture. And I mean, Wakanda itself is not the result of slavery never happening. Wakanda is an African country, fictional, who wasn't affected by slavery, so they became this powerhouse in this fictional universe. And so the whole thing just seems to really not understand the history, how influential Black Americans have been and why it matters. I mean, without Black people, our music's completely different. Our popular dances are completely different. Our television now is completely different. And none of that happened if they didn't pick themselves up after not just slavery, but Jim Crow and redlining. Slavery isn't the only bad thing that America ever did to Black people. And I think that this ending with its Afrocentric twists of someone who is not African, like
Casualties continue to mount over the long years I have struggled. More and more I find myself wondering if it's all worth fighting for. Who knows? I have a job to do, and I'm gonna see it through.
They're gonna bulldoze this shit and build something decent.
My great niece, she wants to get married. Barely 17 and ready to leave the nest.
Maybe. This shop's wides only, boy. This shop's wides only, boy.
This shop's whites only, boy.